ready to dance, right? So while we push for recognition, Beyond Borders is how we continue to show up. So this event is visibility, again, in a city that too often renders us invisible. It's a fundraiser that's supporting the Urban Indigenous Collective and our behavioral health services, our mentorship, cultural healing, advocacy for Indigenous rights. So every ticket, every sponsor helps us build Indigenous-led wellness and healing for Natives across the city. So when you come in, you'll experience traditional Indigenous food by Indigenous chefs. We have 2 dance floors, not 1, 2. The first one is going to be really centering a lot of Afro, Latin, tribal house, right? And one will be honoring New York's legacy of hip hop resistance with DJ Tony Touch. If you don't know, now you know. There'll be vendors, body work by Indigenous healers, and community education moments, right? Because celebration and political education do go hand in hand.
That certainly sounds like a lot of celebration. Sutton King helped found the Urban Indigenous Collective. The collective will be marking the day with an Indigenous Peoples Day party at House of Yes in Bushwick. That's starting at 7 o'clock this evening, running until 2 in the morning. Sutton King, thank you for joining us.
Machwawainen Yago. Thank you.
WNYC support comes from Lincoln Center Theater's production of Ragtime, the sweeping musical about 3 families in pursuit of the American dream at the dawn of the 20th century, is back on Broadway for a limited engagement. Tickets at lct.org. Drexel University, whose cooperative education program positions students to explore future careers and discover their ideal profession before graduation. More about experiential education at drexel.edu.
It is 6:52. You're listening to Morning Edition on WNYC. Marketplace Morning Report is next, and then a new World Health Organization study finds 1 in 6 infections worldwide resistant to some antibiotics. How do we treat drug-resistant bacteria? That's on Morning Edition from NPR and WNYC in about 15 minutes right here. Mid-50s with light rain and some strong winds out there. A coastal flood warning and an advisory there for some high winds all the way until 6 this evening. We have rain in the forecast, a high near 59 and breezy. Strong winds. Hold on to everything out there. And then tonight, rain likely by midnight, 58. Winds still strong. And then tomorrow, slim chance of afternoon rain, mostly cloudy and 63.
There are 3 winners of today's Nobel Economics Prize, and looking at their work, the 2 syllables AI come quickly to mind.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance. On the road and at home, customers can simplify their insurance needs and protect what's important by bundling home and auto with Progressive Insurance. Learn more about Progressive and bundling at progressive.com. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at schwab.com.
I'm David Brancaccio in Los Angeles. There's word in the last hour that 3 professors who look at how innovation, including technology, drives economic growth will share the Nobel Economics Prize. It's Joel Mokyr of Northwestern University, Philippe Aghion of France, who teaches in Paris and London, and Peter Howitt, a Canadian who works at Brown University in Providence. Their work also serves as a warning that history shows that growth is not inevitable and has to be nurtured. Marketplace's senior economics contributor Chris Farrell joins us now. Morning, Chris.
Good morning, David.
You've actually followed the work of at least one of these winners. Why'd they win?
These 3, essentially economic historians, they have delved deep into the most important question in economics. What makes economies grow? What's behind technological change and innovation? What leads to long-term sustained economic growth?
Right. It's the most important economic question if this leads to bringing prosperity to actual human beings. Now, Joel Mokyr is a scholar that you've actually read into prior to this announcement.
Oh, and I would recommend for anybody to read his books, Lever Riches, a collection of essays, The Gifts of Athena. He's just a brilliant economic historian. And what he's delved into, David, is he looks at behind growth. It's not coal or capital, money. It's when you look at the Industrial Revolution, it's a society that valued curiosity, experimentation, practical problem solving. Inventors and scientists were celebrated. It's about the importance of ideas in those institutions that support the ideas and the network effect of people exchanging ideas in their experiments.
When you look at the work of these three scholars, Joel Mokyr, Philippe Aghion of France, and Peter Howitt at Brown, the person I think of is Joseph Schumpeter, the Austrian economist, the creative destruction guy. Thought a lot about, for instance, entrepreneurship and how it plays into economic growth.
Right, and this is absolutely critical. I mean, growth is not steady. I mean, when you look, and you've looked at those charts, David, right, over 200 years where you can barely see the Great Depression in there, right? It looks remarkably smooth, but the closer you get to history and economic history, the more you realize, new companies rise, old ones fall, entire industries are reshaped. And so Aghion, one of the things that he's well known for is looking about, policies around education, competition, finance, how these affect whether societies get the kind of innovation that you want, the kind of innovation that leads to economic growth, or it may lead to economic destruction.
And Peter Howitt, he really also takes a very close look at economic history, focusing on the UK Industrial Revolution.
Yes, he's largely focused on Britain, and it's about, you look over the past 2 centuries or so, how do economies adapt to shocks, wars, new technologies? And one of the things that the Nobel Committee made very clear is one of the reasons why they awarded the prize to these economists at this particular point in time is largely the rise of AI. And all the disruptions that AI may have for our society and what the impact may be on economic growth. So although these are economic historians, this is really a prize about a society and an economy of AI.
Marketplace's senior economics contributor, Chris Farrell. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Joel Mokyr gets half the Nobel Prize money. Philippe Aghion and Peter Howitt split the other half. Markets after stock prices collapsed on Friday after China tightened up controls on rare earth exports and President Trump escalated rhetoric about the U.S.-China trade war. The S&P fell 2.7%. The Nasdaq closed down 3.6%. The Dow on Friday closed down 878 points, or 1.9%. Then, over the weekend, Trump posted that the U.S. and China will work things out. And S&P futures are up 1.4% now. NASDAQ futures are up about 2%, about 2.5 hours here before the opening bell on Wall Street. So we're back to the condition when the whole market seems to turn on a few syllables this way or that on the Truth Social platform. The bond market is closed today for Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Palo Alto Networks. Palo Alto Networks delivers what's next in cybersecurity innovation to protect today's digital way of life. Learn more at paloaltonetworks.com. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at schwab.com.
During unsettled economic times, there are programs that can immediately help individuals cover necessary costs, at least some of them. Economists call these programs automatic stabilizers. Unemployment insurance is one example. So is Medicaid. And then there's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP or indeed food stamps. As Marketplace's Carla Javier reports, that program is about to undergo some big changes that'll change who it is able to support.
Imagine a family. A parent loses their job, they go to the grocery store less. Diane Schanzenbach of Georgetown and Brookings says,
grocery stores see less demand, and so they have to do things like, lay off a bag boy. And so those families, their incomes go down at the same time.
With SNAP, that first family buys those groceries and the bagger keeps their job. Earlier this month, the USDA notified states they need to make big changes to SNAP eligibility, work requirements, and who's covering costs soon. Colleen Heflin at Syracuse University says normally changes like these are rolled out with a lot of guidance over time. But
telling states October 3rd, you have to be in compliance November 1st is impossible.
She says mistakes are going to be made, whether it's people losing benefits or just confusion.
And the administrative costs are going to go way up.
We reached out to the USDA for comment, and it did not respond. I'm Carla Javier from Marketplace.
And in Los Angeles, I'm David Brancaccio. You're listening to the Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.
WNYC
This is a public announcement.